and seen on Weibo, and today's live stream will last for 1.5 hours. Hope you can stay with us, and we will have a small gift for you at the end of the live stream. Just leave a message to us. At the end of the live stream, we will select and read out some of your comments. I hope this National Day holiday have lived some wonderful experiences to you, and for which you can share with us. And now, my colleague in Beijing, Mr. Zhang Feng, will give you the live stream. Dear viewers, good evening. I'm now at the Transportation Commission of Beijing, and I'm doing this live stream for you. Today marks the last day of the National Day holiday, and it will witness the travel peak. According to the statistics, there were 1.54 million vehicles passing during 0 to 16 o'clock. And there are 820,000 vehicles leave Beijing. So we can see the great burden on the traffic. But generally, the whole transportation system is running well. And now let's watch some live image from the highways. From these live images, we can see that there are 5 highways are encountering the traffic jam. One is the expressway to airport. And we can see from this image this highway is to Beijing. And we can see there is an increasing number of the vehicles. And this one is the airport expressway. There is also traffic concentration. And this one is a Jingcheng Highway. This is also the way to Beijing City. Just now, because of the traffic accident, there was traffic concentration and the vehicles are running slowly. And this one is Jingtai Highway. From Zhaofeng Bridge and the way to Beijing, there is the traffic concentration and a slow move. And this one is Daguang Highway. And we can see the smooth traffic now. This is another direction. And we can see the traffic is smooth. It's relatively fine. And this one is the number 2 bridge of Sima Tai. And we can see the way to Beijing also witness the slow move. And there is a lining up of the vehicles. This one is Beijing-Hong Kong-Macau Highway. And from this direction, we can see the traffic is smooth. And from this image, we can see the Jingliang Bridge also has a very concentrated traffic. This one is Beijing, Hong Kong, Macau, and the direction is to Yanchun. And we see the traffic is also smooth. And this is the way to Beijing City, and it's the inspection station. And we can see the traffic is also smooth. This one is the mainstream of main road of Jingtai Highway. The traffic is also smooth and normal. And this one is to Tiangong-yuan. And we can see the traffic concentration. And there is an increasing number of cars. And there is a slow move. And this is another way to Beijing City. The traffic is normal. And this one is the toll gate of the highways. This one is the toll gate of Beijing Harbin Highway, and we can see the traffic is smooth, and the traffic order is fine. And this is another toll gate of Beijing Hong Kong Macau Highway, and we can see the traffic is also smooth. And next, I will introduce the traffic options for the peak time. These are the points of the traffic jam. Some are around the 6th ring, and some are at the toll gates. So we suggest, first, you can change your way to another highway. And you can also drive your car to the north 5th ring. And you can also drive to the Airport Expressway and enter Beijing City. And also you can drive to the northwest 6th ring and enter Beijing City. That's the options. Hereby, I also want to remind our returning travelers, now it's the traveling peak time. I know everyone is in a hurry, but please stay a distance from the vehicles and stay calm. Whenever you meet the traffic jam, please don't be so worried. And you can call the service number 96108 to ask for help, and wish you a smooth traffic and safe back home.
各位观众，大家好，我是来自江苏的路网主播梁雨桐。现在我所在的位置是G2京沪高速无锡段的朔放枢纽处。今天是国庆长假的最后一天，也是返程的高峰的时间段。那现在大家跟随我们的画面能够看到，此时此刻在高速公路上面，
Beijing-Shanghai Highway. Today marks the travel peak, and you can see the live image. These are cars from Nanjing, and they are traveling to Shanghai. Dear viewers, if now you are driving on this highway, please stay safe and drive slowly. Today I want to introduce this first highway rescue station in China. Please take a look at this white container. After adjustment, this can be used for rescue or to have a rest. So once there is emergency, the rescue cars and staff will arrive at the scene immediately. And this rescue station is responsible by the police and relevant department. So what are the highlights of this rescue station? First, this is just outside the emergency lane of the highway, and you can see this safety rack. It is so solid. And at the top of this rescue station, there is an alarm light. It also reminds the drivers that here is the rescue station. This equipment will increase the ratio of safety. Maybe our viewers are wondering what's inside this station. Now let's go and have a look.
看到这个不光是从效率上，还有效果上，都可以说是有了这个驿站之后是有很大的帮助的。
对，在驿站出车能够更快的到达事故现场，快速救援1分钟，快速撤出1分钟，保证高速公路的畅通吧。
好，谢谢我们的张队长。大家能够看到啊，这个国庆7天之后，张队长是比之前是晒得更黑了。那也要谢谢我们这样的一些救援的队员。那大家呢也都是在我们的一线，国庆期间都没有休息，坚守在我们的岗位上面。 所以说，这样的一个救援驿站，大家能够看到，它不仅是丰富了我们节假日期间高速公路的保畅的手段，提升了我们大流量期间的紧急的响应速度，
to guarantee the safety and the security on the highways, and it also is one of the important spirit which is spread across the Jiangsu province. So I need to remind all of you friends that before you go to the highways, please have a security check and a safe check of your car. And if you have any problems, please dial 96677, which is the emergency call for Jiangsu Province Highways Bureau and stations. Let's go back to our major stadium.
各位观众，大家好，我是路况主播何梦莹。那么我现在所在的位置
Dear viewers, I'm He Moying, the moderator of today's sessions. Right now, I'm actually at the north gateways of the Suzhou Nantong Bridge. So here, this gateway is free for all the cars and vehicles. So today marks the end of the national holiday, and the stream of the cars are quite smooth and normal. Although we are reaching the peak of the vehicle traffic, but I can see all of the conditions here is quite safe. So here we invite Director Guo Jinfeng from this station to introduce you all of the relevant information of today. So we have provided all kinds of safety guaranteeing measures, and our plan for the national holiday is around 80,000 vehicles. But this year's national holiday, all of the vehicles passing by is reaching 100,000 units. And that is why we have a direct way of running all of the vehicles. And apart from that, we provide 3 different directions and runabouts for the vehicles to pass us by. And we're providing all kinds of rescue services alongside the highway. And we also have an emergency management of the rescuing part of the vehicles. And this is going to help us to increase the efficiencies of the vehicles. Apart from that, we built a rescue team, which is named the Team of Jasmine, meaning that we spread the awareness of the service spirit to all the people in Jiangsu. Thank you very much. And for the closing of the free of charge of the gateway stations, we still have 5 hours and 30 minutes. So do you have any reminders to our viewers? So dear viewers, I want to remind you that all of you should check all the relevant rules about the highways, especially all of the truck drivers. Some of the part of the networks in Jiangsu Bridge are having a separate rules for the trucks. And before you enter into the free stations, we remind all of the vehicles and cars to be drive at the left side of the road, and all the trucks and big-sized vehicles to be drive at the left side of the runways. And apart from that, we have all kinds of separational bars for different vehicles. Apart from that, we specifically want to remind you that apart from the small-sized vehicles, we don't want to have all kinds of queues between the different sizes of the vehicles. And so for the ADT users, once you are mixed with other different ways, it might create the queues. At this specific time period, we are going to see that so many vehicle drivers, they are not able to enjoy the free of charge vehicle highways during this period of times. So I want to specifically remind you to pay attention to the time. So before the midnight tonight, if you cannot get off the highways, you can choose the closest gateways before you. And if you have any questions, please dial 0259677 and download an application which is named Jiangsu Transportation Real-Time Scenarios. Right now, let's look at what happened in Tianjin. Dear viewers, good afternoon. Welcome all of you to check about the traffic real-time scenarios during the national holiday in the year 2018. Today is the last day of the national holiday vacation, and this year's national holiday vacation is about to end. And tonight at midnight, the national holiday is about to end it, and the highway is going to be resume its phase and charges again. Right now, let's look at the weather conditions. According to the meteorological bureaus, in Beijing today, the highest temperature is 21 Celsius, and the lowest temperature is 11 Celsius. So apart from that, let's talk about the traffic in Beijing up to now. Beijing-Tianjin Highway, Beijing-Jiayuguan Railway, and Beijing-Qingdao Railway, and also the Chengdu-Hong Kong highways. All of it is under work. At the 6 kilometers apart from the Beijing-Tianjin highways, there's all kinds of construction works being built on the highways. Apart from that, I want to introduce you the real-time scenarios of the face stations. So this is the face station numbered S50, which is connecting Beijing, Tianjin, and Hebei.
然后我们看到的是京津唐高速的塘沽西分站，目前也是比较顺畅。
Right now we are looking at the Tanggu West face station. Currently the traffic is quite smooth. Finally, we are looking at Jiazhuangzi station. Relatively speaking, this station marks a quite heavy traffic volume, but because for the returns of the traffic, we have several peaks, so it's actually dividing the general traffic volume. From the real-time monitoring, the general volumes of the traffic is not huge. Compared with yesterday, the traffic volume has a little bit declined. And let's look at currently the networks of the Tianjin of the highways. Up now, the Beijing-Tianjin Highway, Beijing-Jiayuguan Highway, and Beijing-Baoding Highway have a ban of the trucks. And because of the maintenance works and construction works, apart from Beijing to Baoding highways are closed. All of the networks are running quite smoothly. At the midnight today, all of the free of charge stations is going to be ended. So here we want to remind our dear viewers that to do a transitional work 3 hours before the midnight, all of the stations is going to give a paper-formed get a free of charge guarantee for all the vehicles. So before you enter into the highways, please get this paper license, especially if you are driving a small car or sedan. And once you get off the highway, please show this paper-based license to the stations. And apart from that, due before the midnight, many of the vehicles must be passing some of the lines, and you will enjoy all kinds of free policies. And if you want to drive into the highways because there is no real-time information for the ETC stations, you have to apply the information annually. This is actually a real-time live broadcast for Tianjin. We are really delighted to have so many friends watching our real-time broadcast. Thank you very much for your support of our works and your support for the transportation network of Tianjin. I wish you enjoy your National Day holiday. And right now, let's turn our cameras to Hebei province and have a look at the transportation network of Hebei province. Dear viewers, good afternoon. I'm Zhou Zhimei, coming from Hebei Transportation Bureau. Here I'm actually at the network centers of Hebei Transportation Bureau. And today is actually the end of the National Day holiday. All of the vehicles are having a quite smooth transportation, but we still have some reminders to give all of you. So let's look at the different part of the screens. So right now we are actually looking at the Tangshan, Tangzhou highways, and direction is to Dezhou. The traffic volume is relatively high, so please pay attention to the safety and security. This is Daguang Highway. Because it's getting darker, so the camera can only show us all kinds of vehicle lights, but we can still, judging from the vehicle lights, we can have concluded the general traffic volume is quite good. This is a part of a Beijing Highway, Beijing-Harbin Highway. The general volume is getting smooth. This is the Beijing-Shijiazhuang part of the Beijing-Hong Kong and Macau Highway. The traffic is relatively stable. Let's look at their main roads. And we can still feel all kinds of traffic lights, which is a reminder of the heavy traffic volume here.
Now let's take a look at this maintenance section. And this is the Jingshi Highway. And this is Daguang Highway 1390, and we can see a heavy traffic. So we need to remind the drivers to turn on the traffic lights. And now the tunnel to Beijing City 1132 section has a car accident, so there is traffic jam. And there is also traffic jam along the other two highways. So we want to remind the drivers to stay vigilant while driving. And because today marks the end of National Day holiday, the traffic will become smooth later. And because it's getting dark, please be careful while driving. And if you have any accident or sudden problems, please call the 9612. That's the service call of Hebei Transportation Center.
感谢河北省路网主播，让我们了解到了河北省的路网情况。
Thank you for the moderator from Hebei Province. Dear viewers, I'm from the Command and Control Center of Heilongjiang Province, and now I'm doing the live stream for you at the Commanding Center. And now it's 6:34. And let's take a look at these toll gates. This is the toll gate at the west of Harbin, and this is mainly to Inner Mongolia and the Daguang Highway. During the National Day holiday, there are some cars to Beijing or Dalian City choose to pass this toll gate. And now we can see the traffic is stable. Once there is image to the airport, and you can see there is a heavy traffic. So if you are driving to the airport, please leave home earlier. And this one is to Heihe, and we can see most of the cars are trucks. And comparing to the travel peak during the National Day holiday, we can see an increasing number of the vehicles. And this one is to Hatong Highway, Hamu Highway. These cars are to Harbin City, and we can see the smooth traffic. There is no traffic jam. And finally, let's take a look at this toll gate. It's at the north of Heilongjiang Province. Here is also the traffic concentration station for the returning travelers. But generally speaking, the traffic is smooth. And these are the toll gates in Harbin. So, according to the tips, please plan your travel in advance. And these are for the toll-free highways. This year, according to the national policy of toll-free for highways, from the 1st of October to the 7th of October, the highways will be free of charge. So by the end of 12 o'clock tonight, the passenger cars with less than 7 seats will be free of charge. you can drive in or drive out of the highways through ETC or the manual lanes. So for the drivers who cannot manage it to arrive at the toll gate before 12 o'clock, we can give you some tips. If you cannot arrive at the toll gate before 12 o'clock, you can enter the highway at the closest entry points. Hope this can help you. And this marks the returning travel peak. And there is also traffic jam. We know travelers are worried about the traffic jam, so how can we prevent from it? This is actually easy, that you can check for it in advance. And also you can set off earlier. And for the highway relevant departments, we also have some concrete measures for these transportation and traffic. We have increased the staff at the toll gates and also speed up the charging time. And we have increased 2 to 3 lanes for the passenger cars which can pass the toll gate for free. And we also have the emergency and control center and the rescue system. And we have twice that of the normal staff for service. And for the toll gates where are so crowded, we also increased the staff, and we have increased the free lanes for the passenger cars. We also monitor the highways 24 hours, and live broadcast this through the internet, like the cell phones, also the electric screens, so that to update the drivers of the latest information on traffic. So you can adjust the time and the route of your travel. Our department really prepared a lot for this year's National Day holiday. And that's the end of our live stream. If you have any ideas or suggestions on Heilongjiang Expressway, you can call us on our number. And wish you a happy holiday. And next, my colleague from Shanghai will show you the live stream. Dear viewers from nationwide, I'm today's moderator at Shanghai. I'm now at the Command and Control Center of Shanghai Transportation Department, and today I will share with you about the general situation of Shanghai. Firstly, let me introduce the previous day's transportation. And we can see from the real-time image. And from this board, we can see most of the cars travel between 30th of September to 2nd of October. And they are traveling out. And for the highway G40, G60, these main roads witnessed the traffic jam, especially G40. There was a great traffic jam. And that heavy traffic lasted until 4 o'clock in the morning, 1st of October. more returning travelers, especially on 5th of October. It's very obvious because that day was impacted by typhoon. The weather was not good. So in the afternoon on that day, there was an increasing number of returning travelers. Until 6th of October, the travel peaked. So for the citizens in Shanghai, they mainly travel back on 6th of October. And now let's look at these real-time images. These are the returning travelers. And we can see from the first image, this is the Beijing-Shanghai Highway G2. And from this screen, we can see the traffic is smooth and fine. And the left-hand side is to city center. Usually, here is a crowded area, but now we can see the traffic is smooth and fine. Hereby, I want to add some quotes. Apart from G2, Beijing-Shanghai Highway, and last month, S26 is also on operation. So there is one more option for our drivers if you want to drive from Jiangsu to Shanghai. So in the future, you can both drive on G2 and S26 if you want to drive from Jiangsu to Shanghai. This really eases the burden of the traffic. And from this second image, we can see the real-time traffic on G50. This highway connects Hongqiao and Yunnan Highway. So this is a main road to city center. And we can see the toll gates. The traffic is stable and smooth and fine. So there is no traffic jam on this image. Actually, today, this whole highway has a smooth traffic. And we can see from here, this is Shanghai Kunming Highway, and this is the main road from Zhejiang to Shanghai. And we can also see the traffic is stable. There is no traffic jam points. And the cars are traveling fastly. And from Zhejiang to Shanghai city center, the traffic is also smooth. There is no line. And this last image is from a tunnel. This is a G40 Shanghai Shanxi Highway. Over the past years, when it entered the last days of National Day holiday, this area is a heavy traffic area. Many Shanghai citizens know that.
G40 is actually a quite jammed route during the National Day holiday, but up now, according to the videos we took real time about the tunnels, all of the traffic transferred quite smoothly and there is no jam at the G14 tunnels. So today, for all of the Shanghai citizens, this is quite beneficial news because for all of the citizens who travel to Zhejiang and Jiangsu province, all of it has a quite good travels and traffic, and there's no large areas, blocks of the traffic. And the only jam is actually happening at a bridge toll station somewhere between Jiangsu and Shanghai because of a little bit accident. But right now, the general condition is quite smooth. So This is our up-to-date information of today's traffic. Finally, let me give you a few information of the construction site. At G105, the outer rings, and also for the G150, interconnections with S404 road, and G15 from Lianxi to there is a construction from both directions. If any drivers is passing through all of these roads, I think all of you need to slow down and pay attention to the real-time scenarios on the road. I wish all of you to keep a distance during your journey back home, and that is more easier for you to control your vehicles, and we hope all of you could drive home safely and enjoy a quite good national holiday at the end of it. And if all of the viewers want to have further information of Shanghai transportations, you can follow the microblog of Shanghai, which is named Shanghai Transportation. And if you follow this account, we will provide you up-to-date real-time information about traffic jams, traffic accidents, and all kinds of construction sites. And you can follow our microblogs and understand the up-to-date information. Right now, I'd like to give the floor to the moderators in Zhejiang Province and invite them to give a brief introduction of what's happening on Zhejiang Province. Dear viewers, I'm going to give you a brief introduction of the traffic scenarios at the Zhejiang Province. So here I want to remind you that at midnight, at 12 o'clock, all of the highways are no longer free. So for all the viewers who is going back to their workplace today to enjoy the weather today, so let's look at all of the important period of the highway networks of Zhejiang Province. So we want to specifically remind you of the following sectors. For the G16O between Shanghai and Hangzhou period, the general traffic is quite smooth. For all drivers who drive towards these highways, you can actually enter into this highway. And for the highways which is connecting Zhejiang Province and Jiangsu Province, G25, G15, I think that all of the let's look at the monitoring camera. Right now, we are looking at the toll gate of Jiangsu highways. The vehicles is passing quite smoothly. For the highways which is connecting Zhejiang and Anhui, G56, G16. Let's look at the monitoring videos. And this is actually the traffic volumes at the two stations, and the general traffic performance is quite good. This is actually the G3 Beijing Shanghai Highway and the G16 subway between Shanghai and Hangzhou. All of the traffic jam is happening at the Yunnan major way and the Zhegan major way. Let's look at the real-time monitoring video. This is actually a gateway for Jiangsu Province. There's a lot of volume of the truck. And let's look at the directions towards Fujian Province. G3 Beijing Shanghai highways and G5 Beijing Longqi highways and G25 gateway is the major part we should care about. Let's check on the real-time videos. In the Zhejiang to Fujian highways, that is to say, for all the areas who is traveling from Fujian to Hangzhou, you actually enjoy a quite good traffic. This is our connections with all the other provinces. But if we look inside of the provinces, among all of the highways in Zhejiang, all of the traffic is quite smooth. According to the estimations from the smart transportation application, G115 and G56, all of it is expecting a high traffic volume, and we suggested all the dear viewers to check about the real-time information. So for the high traffic volume around Hangzhou, it's around the northwest part of the G51. For all the friends who is about to leave, I suggest you to avoid this peak. And for any of the viewers who is trying to get to the Xiaoshan International Airport of Hangzhou, G15, 2 and G25 is working quite normally. And if we look at the east part of Zhejiang province, especially at this Wu'er hub, the volume is gathered here. For the western part of Zhejiang, the large volume is happening on the G60 and between the Xuzhou East and the Yutangjiao hub. And finally, let's look at the north part of Zhejiang province. And the large traffic volume is gathered at G25 and between Huzhou and Chengxin. So according to the data estimations from the smart traffic applications, the traffic is going to reach its peak at 10 p.m. tonight, and all of the stations ends free of charge policies at 12 o'clock. And if you have any questions, please dial 12305. And for further information of the transportations in Zhejiang province, let's shift to Jiangxi province.
看得到吗？看不到吧？ 全国的观众朋友，大家好！感谢浙江主播的精彩介绍。
Good night. We want to thank the Zhejiang moderator for their insightful introduction. I'm the moderator from Jiangxi province. Today marks the end of the National Day holiday, and it also marks the pace of the returning journeys. And so for the end of this journey, all of the traffic works quite smoothly in our province. For the small part, there's a lot of traffic jams. Let's check about the real-time monitoring videos. Because it's night, there's a little bit blur of the monitoring video clips. So here I want to introduce you Daguang Highway. This is a quite important north to south highway, and the volumes is expecting at a quite high part. And apart from that, we want to specifically remind you that the Nanting part of this Daguang Highway, especially somewhere near Nanchuanan, the traffic is passing through quite slowly. I remind all of the drivers do not occupy the emergency lines. And let's check about another information in Jiangxi province, another trans-province highways. Jiguang Highway, which is connecting the south part of Jiangxi to Guangzhou. Up now, the traffic volume is seeing a little bit surge. witnessing a small volume. One part is because more and more people is choosing to avoid the peak. Some of the citizens return to their city starting from October the 5th. And another part we want to talk about is that for the different highways in Shandong province, we actually forbidden any of the trucks which weighed more than 1.8 tons to pass through the highway. Let's check.
And this Xiaoxujia highway now has a smooth traffic. At Yantai area, we can see the live image from the toll gate. The traffic is smooth. And on the road, there are few cars. And this is another area. You can see there are also a few cars. And the shining lights are also on the image, and with the light, we can see there are few cars. And here is another toll gate. You can see the traffic is very smooth. And these are the images of other areas from Shandong province. And finally, I would like to give you some reminders. The time on the highway will be calculated by the time when you leave the highway. So you can leave home earlier and drive on the highway earlier. So that to avoid some problems for the charging. And if you have any problems, you can call 96000. This is the situation in Shandong province. And next, my colleague will introduce the situation from Henan province. Dear viewers, I'm from the Command and Control Center of the traffic from Henan. And now at this center, I'm doing this live stream for you. Let me introduce the travel peak and situation from Henan. From this network, you can see Henan highways are entering into the travel peak. Some highways have very heavy traffic, like Zhengming Highway. The Kaifeng section of Zhengming Highway also has a very heavy traffic. There are other highways in Henan province, but they are in a smooth traffic. And these are the situation at the toll gates. These are the toll gates surrounding Zhengzhou. This is the Zhengzhou South toll gate. You can see the traffic is becoming heavier, but it's generally smooth. There is no traffic jam. And this is the East Zhengzhou New District Toll Gate. From this video, you can see, comparing to Zhengzhou South Toll Gate, here witnessed fewer cars. Comparing to previous experience, Putian Station and Houzhai Station and Youlin Station will have a traffic jam, so you can choose your route accordingly. And Hanghai Road Toll Gate also may witness a traffic jam. And let's have a look at the brief view, a brief idea of the travel volume. These are the car volume of today, and there are 3.6 million cars the whole day, and there are 1.7 million cars leave the city, the province. And let's look at this big screen. On the left-hand side, you can see that's G4 highway. There is a stagnation of the vehicles. From this image, we can see most of the reasons of the traffic jam are the traffic accident. So we would like to remind our drivers and passengers, once you travel through the traffic jam areas, please slow down. Please don't speed up, so that to avoid the traffic accident. And I wish everyone a safe trip home. And that's the basic situation in Henan. Dear viewers and drivers, good evening. Thank you for staying tuned with us. I'm now at the Command and Control Center for Highways in Yunnan Province. Thank you, my dear colleagues. And now let's take a look at the traffic situation in Yunnan Province. During the National Day holiday, the traffic was mostly stable. There was no long-time traffic jam. And for some traffic accidents, the relevant department rescued and resolved the problems immediately. During the National Day holiday, the security on the highways are stable. And now is 7:06. The travel peak in Yunnan Province is still on. It's mainly in Kunshi Highway, Kunyu Highway, and Xiaoyu Highway. Now let's watch the real-time videos. And this is Dian West direction. This is the Kunming West Toll Gate. And we can see the heavy traffic because the travel peak is still on. That's why there is a slow move. And let's move westward. This is the Xiaohebian section. This is a dangerous area of the highway. It's called Dahongtian Tunnel, and there is a strict security control here. After that control, the order of traffic, the traffic order here has been stabilized. And this is Dali Highway. And we can see the toll gate of Dali is also stable and has a smooth traffic. So once you are driving here, you can pass the toll gate very quickly. And let's move westward. This is Yongping Session. I can see on the roads there are so few cars. This place is actually more than 300 kilometers from Kunming, and you can see there are few cars. And now let's look at the south direction of Dian. If you move southward at the Yuyuan Session, we can see the traffic is relatively heavy. Today, the travel peak here sustained started from 9 o'clock in the morning and lasted until now. And let's move southward. This is the Mojiang Session, Mojiang Service Center. You can see some cars are taking a rest here. And on the main roads, there are few cars. And this is the first 4A level scenic sport level toll gate in Yunnan. And it's only 10 kilometers from the tourist site. And during the Golden Week, we can see this photo was taken on the afternoon of 1st of October. Because part of this highway is in the middle of the wild park for elephants. And at around 5 o'clock in the afternoon of 1st of October, a group of wild elephants went on this highway, and there were in total 17 elephants. Our staff was so anxious, and we immediately stopped and blocked the whole highway. After we saw all the elephants past this session safely, we resumed the traffic on this section of the highway. So I want to remind our drivers and passengers, once you encounter the similar situation on the highways, maybe you find that the elephants are lovely. But once you approach them, they may attack your cars, they may even attack you. So this is dangerous. We would like to remind the drivers, once you meet the group of elephants on the highways, please stay away, please keep a distance from them, and wait until they leave, or rather you will be dangerous. This is also very interesting. And let's move eastward. We can see the traffic volume is high, but at the toll gate it's orderly. And this is a session with traffic jam. This is a Caodian Tangchi session of Kunming Shijiazhuang Highway. This afternoon, at around 4 o'clock, there was serious traffic accidents. And now we can see the rescue cars are arrived, and they are treating and rescuing the accident and the injured cars. We know that during the National Day holidays, there are travel peak and many returning travelers. But if there is no traffic accident, the traffic is generally smooth. So this is very regretful. And this is the Xiaolong Highway. It's at Dian, North Dian. And if you go to Chongqing, you must pass this toll gate. And we can see a relatively heavy traffic here. And we can see on the roads, there are also high volume of cars, but it's orderly. And this is the Loba section of Shuima Highway. In the daytime, you can see the S road clearly. And on the left-hand side is Nanpan River. And the traffic is also smooth. Here is the cross-provincial toll gate of Yunnan and Guizhou. And you can see both the entry and exit has the lined-up cars. We want to remind the drivers to leave the left lane to the passenger cars. And this is to Panzhihua, Chengdu. And we can see the traffic is smooth and in great order.
And for the Yunnan part of this session, the traffic is quite smoothly. Dear viewers, dear drivers, nationwide, so we actually give you a brief introduction of all the real-time, up-to-date scenarios happening on the highways in Yunnan province, and we welcome you to Yunnan. This marks the end of my moderations. Right now, let's turn to our friends in Beijing, China Transportation Network.
好，观众朋友们，继续回到我们的直播间，这里是我们正在交通运输部3楼指挥大厅为您带来实时的直播。我们这场直播呢，已经进行了1个小时左右了哈，是由中国路网直播间和央视新闻移动网联合播出的11路况返程大直播。那今天呢，刚才通过我们的直播，全国11个省份为您展现了最新鲜、最实时的返程路况，相信大家已经对返程的路况有了最清晰的了解，直观的一个感受。那其实今天是7号的9点的时候，我不知道是不是有很多朋友已经回来，或者有些朋友正在。
Good summary of what's happening on the roads.
总体情
Up
况，
now
包
we
括
are
返
at
程5、6、7
7
点3天的一个情况
p.m.
呢，我们有
at
请
the end
下
of
面
the
这一位
national
嘉宾
day
来给我们做一个
holiday.
详细
So
的介绍。
here
我
we
们
are
有
to
请交
give
通
the
运输
floor
部路
to
网
our
中心路网
guests
运
to
行
give
副
you a
部长
brief
周可
introduction.
说。有请
Right
周
now,
处。
we'd like to give the floor to
先请周处给我们
Director
的观
Zhou,
众朋友
who
们
is
打
the
声招呼。
director of the
观众朋友们，
network
大家好。
transportation network
周处，现
under
在
the
是10月
Ministry
7号的晚
of
上哈，可以说我们的假期已经接近尾声了。
So
先请您
tonight
总结
is
一下
actually
这7
the
天
end
全
of the
国路网
national
的
day
一个总体
holiday.
运行情
Please
况呢，用7
summarize
天的
the
值班的至少
traffic
监测情况来。
scenarios of the networks in China after 7 days of the preparations. So the first thing I want to introduce you is that during the past 7 days, all of the highway networks is operated quite stable, and there is no major traffic or heavy traffic which is affecting our traffic networks or influencing all of the people's highway travels. During the National Day holidays, the highways is demonstrating two parts of the features. The first part is that there's a quite robust amount of the highway traffic. So during this year's National Day holiday, the general traffic volume is growing by 9.51% year on year. This is because all of the drivers are attracted by the free of charge policies. And this is also being influenced by the good weathers among all of the parts in China. So more people want to drive their vehicles to run on the roads. So that's the reason why we are seeing such a surge compared with last year. The second feature is about that the emergency accidents on the roads are converging into several different types with the uprisings of the traffic volume. During our traffic, we might witness a lot of traffic jam. The second part is about some of the emergency accident. For example, the traffic of the vehicles, and these actually influence the general scenarios on the roads. The third part is being influenced by all kinds of weathers in Sichuan province and Xinjiang autonomous region. There are rains or snows, so weather is also a quite important part, influencing sectors for the highway transportations. And if we compared of the three different characteristics, we can draw the conclusion that the traffic accident is one of the major parts for the emergencies at the transportation sector. Other accident is actually only occupying for over 1%. For these times of the returns travel, we will find that because of our analyzing before the National Day holiday and during this National Holiday period, our traffic time is being concentrated at several different period of times. But for the returning of our cities, it's being influenced by different sectors because the free highways policy has been executed for 6 years, and the general public is having a quite rational arrangement of their travel plans. And they are trying to avoid the peak by themselves. That is to say, the returning peak does not demonstrating such a high surge compared with years before this year. There is no quite distinct upsurge of the traffic volumes, just as before the holiday. So the estimations is quite in line with our expectations. At the 1st of October, during 10 a.m. to 12 a.m., there's a peak for people to getting out of the city, and when the general public is trying to arrange their travel plans quite rationally for the returning period. In the past, we expected that on the October 6th or 7th, there's another peak, sharing the same scale of the first day of the national holiday. But today, we can see a quite distinguished features of the separations of the peaks. According to our research, on May the 5th or the 6th, it demonstrates several small surges of the traffic volume. And at 7th, the data compared with 5th or 6th of National Day holiday, there's a little bit declines. So if we compare the data today with yesterday and the day before yesterday, there's a little bit decline. So at the very beginning, everybody come back home at October the 7th. But up to now, people have a more rational plan of their travel arrangement. For the 5th and the 6th, the general traffic volume, because it has a large traffic volumes, because at the middle of the National Day holiday, and because of everybody is traveling, enjoying the tour sites and pay a visit, or they were actually being spend their holidays at certain areas, so they did not travel in the highways. The second feature we want to talk about is that, according to the real-time data and also our research report, the traffic jam is circling the Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei, and Yangtze River Delta regions, and also the Pearl River Delta region, and also the Chengdu, somewhere near Sichuan province. especially in Beijing, Guangzhou, Nanjing, and other megacities with quite advanced highway networks. The traffic network is under a lot of pressure because of the chores of the highways. Generally speaking, I introduce you all of the features. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Director Zhou, for your comprehensive introduction from the national perspectives. Thank you very much, Director Zhou. So, at the very beginning of our show, we told you that in today's 1.5 hours live broadcast, we are going to give you a small gift. We actually selected a few feedbacks from the viewers, and their first viewer is called Sky Wizard. He actually mentioned that he remembered one winter he actually spent 7 to 8 hours to go back to home. And although he was still a student, but he felt quite happy at the time. So, especially we are located in Beijing, there are so many different students whose home is located somewhere near Hebei, Langfang, and Xintai, can share the same experience. So she is actually serving at the service region and service stations at a culinary lady, and all of the culinary ladies is actually the most hardworking people. During the National Day holiday, we want to present our gift to the second viewers because thank you very much for your support during the National Day holiday. So the third viewer talks about that in the year 2013. So when traveling from Suzhou to Nantong, and he spent 3 hours on a 2 kilometers journey. The next viewers talk about that every time he passes the Jiaxing service areas, and he is going to buy a lot of steamed rice cakes, and all of these sellers is going to peel off the rice cake, and every time he eat about the rice cake, it reminded him of the Jiaxing service region. So it's because I estimated that it might be because he traveled during the Dragon Boat Festival. This is quite distinct features. So one service area is representing a feeling of comfortable service to all the drivers, because these viewers actually remind all of us that the Jiaxing service areas remind all of us the rice cakes. So the fourth viewer we want to talk about is that during his visit in the service areas, he met up with his current girlfriend. This is actually a surprise out of our expectations. This is also a safety because of our rational plans. Today is the last day of the National Day holiday. I wish you enjoy a safe day trip. Our live stream starting from the 1st of October, and I wish all of you enjoy a safe journeys during the National Day holiday. Apart from the live streams, all of you can have a quite real-time information of our everyday video. So once you entered into CCTV Plus, and we are going to update the China transportation broadcast every week by twice, and it's being brought to all of you by Dongjia every time using 5 to 6 minutes to give you an introduction of the traffic networks in China. So please follow our official account. Thank you very much. This is the end of today's report. Thank you very much. I wish you enjoy a safe trip home, and China Transportation Network is always to be with you. Thank you very much.